Alright, so over the years, you might have seen TV shows such as Tiger King or any other shows out there that show people keeping exotic wild animals that you wouldn't consider as normal pets other than cats and dogs. You might be one of those people who, after watching some of those shows, that thinks that keeping such animals is not only a good idea, but it might be an exciting thing for you to do and can potentially make some money off that. Well, let me go ahead and tell you in this speech why that is such a bad idea and why you shouldn't think of getting any exotic animals to keep as pets. Reason number one, they're wild animals, and wild animals, they're unpredictable, dangerous, and they will turn on you eventually. Whether it's chimpanzees, tigers, lions, bears, snakes, etc., there have been plenty of documented cases and instances of people keeping those violent animals, and then sometime later down the line, they get attacked by those animals. And as a result of those attacks, they often get severe injuries or they from people died from those attacks. No matter how long you keep an exotic animal as a pet and quote unquote try to tame it, it's still a wild animal that has a mind of its own and is very unpredictable. Doesn't take much for it to snap. The website bornfreeusa.org has a database that's 2,000 pages long that lists a whole bunch of animal attacks that have happened on humans by, exotic pets. From another website called Chrome.com, as of the time of July 14, 2022, that was the time that it was published, the article was published. It showed Texas as being the number three state in the country that had the most exotic animal fatalities. Number one ranked state in that category was Florida, which is not really surprising considering all the crazy weird stuff that goes on in this state. Okay, reason number two why you shouldn't keep exotic animals as pets is that people go overboard and, you know, co- commit crimes against animals such as abuse and animal trafficking. When people traffic animals, they're subjecting those animals to abuse and poor treatment by constantly moving it place to place. Sometimes before being trafficked and sold to another place to be moved, those animals are sometimes, inbred. You ever heard of the lion, the liger or tigon? Which is basically a mix between tiger and a lion. Those animals have came about because of trafficking and breeding. Oftentimes, when that happens, it messes up with the genes of those subspecies and causes them to go sick, die, and it decreases the overall population of the species, such as the lion and the tiger. When animals get trafficked or inbred, they're sometimes killed by unsatisfied buyers and owners of those animals. Reason number three, it's really hard to keep and take care of exotic animals that you're keeping as pets. Starters, you have to make sure that they don't escape your house and go off wandering around the street or neighborhood. Some attacks on humans have happened because of animals wandering off in those areas where there's a lot of people, and then they go on rampage and cause, you know, massive havoc. And when that happens, you can be criminally held responsible for those incidents. Also, you had to constantly figure out what to feed them, how you're gonna feed them. Carnivores such as lions, tigers, leopards, etc. they eat a huge chunk of meat a day. And with the high prices of food across the country, you have to figure out how to buy enough food to feed them constantly as much as you can. Because if they're not fed, they'll either starve to death or get really angry and start to look at you with food, which is not a good thing. Animals go to the bathroom whenever and wherever they want to. They have all kinds of diseases that they can get infected and die from. Those diseases can sometimes be spread onto humans, and the humans they can also suffer from those diseases and die as well. Some of those are unknown, so if you're keeping animals as pets, you wouldn't have that much of an understanding of that. And last but not least, no matter how you know much you say that you can tame a wild animal, you can't really tame a wild animal because they have a mind of their own. They're unpredictable. Okay. So, in conclusion, overall, it's not a good idea to try and keep exotic animals as pets. You should really know better than to try and have animals such as lions, tigers, leopards, bears, chimpanzees, etc. at your house as a pet. Almost never ends well for people who keep exotic animals as pets. Either the owner gets hurt or the animal's not able to cope living in captivity and they die off quickly. If you watch the show Fatal Attractions, it goes much in depth on um, cases of people keeping exotic animals as pets and bad stuff happening to them because of it. You're better off literally doing anything else than keeping an exotic animal in your house as a pet. I hope that with this speech that I just presented, that everyone there knows better and doesn't try to get an exotic animal to keep in their house as a pet.